Okay, I swear to God, I never noticed this. I never go into the gallery mode, but upon doing so, looking for like a joke or a way to open this recording session, I was like, huh, I wonder where I can start with. Looked over to Charlotte, and you know what Tecmo Koei is generally known for, right? Well, I mean, yeah. Okay, so you've seen Princess Charlotte in the cutscenes, right? Even this behind my screen flip and VHS filter. Like, you could get an idea. Like, she's probably like a B cup or like around there, C at the absolute most. This is like, dude, these tits are actually past her face. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that Charlotte's model was just kind of made, and they kind of just rolled with it. So there wasn't really anything for them to work off of, and they didn't really care. That's my best guess. I mean, asset saving, I suppose, or not asset saving, time saving, just not detailing them all too much. So I understand that. But while I was in here, I also reminded myself about something. Yeah, he does have a full model, and dude, Skull Knight looks really fucking good. Holy shit. It's yeah, you know, it's funny. I keep trying to justify to myself in my head, well, I mean, the game was severely on a budget. They probably couldn't justify making Skull Knight like a full character. And I keep reminding myself, dude, Femto at this point in the story, like before they get on the boat, Femto did like exactly two things like between the anime and the manga. Like, obviously there was a debut in the anime, and then in the manga, the Black Swordsman arc with the slug count, he reflects a cannonball from Guts, and that's it. So I'm like, huh. Skull Knight has actually done more, because he did fend off Zod, and he did fight Zod a few times, and he's done a couple of other small skirmishes like at the Tower of Conviction. So yeah, there's like really no reason to not have made him playable. But like I said before, I'm relatively certain that Berserk Muso was made on a heavy budget, so what can you do? Okay, what's up guys, welcome back to Let's Play Berzoringo and the Band of the Boingo. I did say that I'd refer to this as Berserk and the Band of the Falcon from now on, but I don't know, Berzoringo is sticking more with me. Anyway, so last time Guts took off, and now Griffith has gone and been absolutely catastrophically destroyed as a man mentally. You know, the whole idea that Griffith doesn't really see me as an equal or a friend. He only sees equals as friends, and I am just a person in his dream. I am definitely not his friend. And that happened. Yeah. It just really occurs to me, like, the more I study back on Berserk, that, yeah, if Guts at any point, like, confronted Griffith and just had solid talk with him, and there's more an opportunity to do so, especially when they read the manga, it's like, it's hard to justify more and more. It's kind of silly in some regards, but it's still beautifully well done. Not gonna question it. So, actually, I had a thing I was gonna talk about. Actually, there are a few things I want to talk about. I've been doing a bit of research back into this game recently. Right, well, I guess until I remember what my other talking point was, I did want to mention something actually. Oh, no, wait, no, I remember what it was. Let's start there first. So, originally, I was super fucking paranoid about posting this game to YouTube, because of the fact that, you know, it's copyrighted footage. I've tried doing test uploads before with the VHS filter and the flip effect, and it still pinged, like, one scene, which was, you know, the sword fight scene, like, back here? Yeah. No. Yes? Yes, that was it. Okay. But then I started going through YouTube, I'm like, wow, people have actually not only posted the entirety of each individual movie to YouTube, but they've also posted all of the entirety of one of the trilogy into one video, and they've also interspersed the whole 97 anime in there as well. And there's still tons of full playthroughs of this game up on the platform. So at this point, I'm like, nah, it's fine, it's whatever. I can afford to take the chance with this game. It's cool, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, one other thing I want to talk about. There's actually a metric fuck ton. Oh my god, there's so much lore and philosophy that goes into, especially the Golden Age arc. Like, I realize if I were to try to articulate every single philosophical, like, throw that Miura is trying to squeeze into, like, especially early Berserk, I would never get this Let's Play done, and I would probably still miss stuff. So I'm going to highlight some things that have been done so far that I'm not going to mention ever again, and I'll mention this, and I'll throw links to ideas, or throw links to, like, essay videos in the description below, so you can have a look at that. Okay, one, There was this old, actually not even that old. I think early 1900s, if I'm not mistaken. Philosopher. That's what it's called. Named Friedrich Nietzsche. He actually has a lot of like inspiration thrown into, especially the Golden Age arc. Like, it's been described that Golden Age arc is almost like a love letter to Friedrich Nietzsche in a sort of way. For example, some ideas from this man include the abyss gazes back into you. You know, the whole thing about if you stare into the abyss, the abyss stares back into you. You know, that whole thing. That refers to Guts. You know, okay, like he seeks to kill beasts, but he has to be careful he doesn't become a beast himself. You know, the idea about the higher man, which is, you know, Griffith and his ambition. What the hell is this? This was something called ressentiment. Another idea of his, which is envy, but not so much wanting what others have, but for them to not have what they do have. I think that's what like Julius was going through with Griffith ascending through the ranks. He just didn't want Griffith to be on par with them, more or less. This is a fun one. Religion is a drug. Friedrich Nietzsche is apparently a bit of a polarizing figure. He likened let's see, what was one of his quotes? He likened Europe to having two major narcotics, alcohol and religion. It's more like people use religion as like escapism, and from of course, like from a modern point of view, that's not a hot take whatsoever. Like, that's a relatively lukewarm take. A lot of people have have this idea. I'm not gonna judge you for your beliefs whatsoever, as long as you don't want to kill people, personally speaking, or oppress people. That's another thing. But it's like, yeah, you can kind of see that when you start like piecing like the church together. We're gonna get more into that with the conviction arc. That's a whole other subject matter I'm not gonna touch today. No, thank you. And the last one is the three metamorphoses. Apparently his most famous story, which is like the camel, the lion, and the child. Guts' journey through the Golden Age. That's gonna take a few minutes to describe. Go Google it. It's not that hard to come across. So that's one. Another. Oh god, this is a whole thing about Berserk though. Berserk's warping of the hero's journey. It's cyclical. There's no transition from like to the end. It just loops back around, and it's a cycle. So, you know, there's that. Those are just like two big philosophical ideas or like themes that run through Berserk, especially the Golden Age arc. Like, there's you'll see it as we go through. Berserk. I keep saying Guts. God damn it. What we see from Berserk, especially, like, even just from a glance, you can see that like there's multiple like narrative shifts or thematic shifts in Berserk as a whole. Like, Golden Age is, of course, pretty medieval fantasy, like medieval drama sort of. Black Swordsman is dark fantasy, grimdark, obviously, because everything's hopeless. You're just killing demons. Millennium Falcon is high fantasy, essentially. I mean, not high fantasy, just like regular fantasy. I'm not sure what you'd qualify like Harry Potter as. Not high fantasy, not like Tolkien or anything, but something like that. And Fantasia is... I would qualify Fantasia as more high fantasy, like traditional fantasy. I'm not sure how you exactly distinguish like the Fantasia arc from Millennium Falcon, besides the obvious thing that the whole world is now like a fairy tale, essentially. That's a whole separate subject matter. I realize that I'm wasting time talking about this, and you just want me to keep playing the game. But until we get more Berserk video games in the future, this will be my only chance to discuss any of this. So, you know, I'm just taking these opportunities for what I like to present. Okay, so huge amount of theses aside. I said theses, not feces, by the way. My slur might make it hard to distinguish. Anyway, let's just go ahead and jump into this. So now we're getting more into kind of filler territory. This is after Guts is taken off for the 1 year to just do some soul searching, figure out what he wants in life, you know, so on and so forth. We're gonna start with basic Guts, just because this is my warm-up for the session. By the way, today's gonna be a short one. Last time I did 12 missions, and it took me 4.5 hours. I think 5. Was it 4.5 or 5.5? I think it was 4.5. It was up there anyway. So, this one's gonna be a shorter one. I'm only gonna do up to the end of the Eclipse. I'm not gonna start touching Black Swordsman. I want to remind myself more about Black Swordsman going into that arc. And from there, I'm going to try to squeeze every arc into one recording session if I can help it. Golden Age is just like 2/3 of this fucking game, so my hands are a bit tied with that one. Anyway, oh wait, I didn't want to click that. Fuck. I've been playing too much Switch. I'm so used to the A button being the B button, and no, I'm used to the circle button being A, X button being B. Ugh, oopsie. This will take a sec. I can't even fathom editing. I'm just doing this Let's Play. Oh wait, first, before we go on, yep, still Berserk. Just want to make sure about that. All right, let's go ahead and party. Okay, so if memory serves, this mission is kinda dumb. There's not really much accomplished here. I think it's literally like, okay, Guts wins a duel, leaving behind a band of Hawk, traveled for 3 years. One day he's attacked by bandits and brandishing his sworn sword, he remembers his days as a mercenary. Yeah, okay. So there's one mission coming up where Guts is literally just fighting off bandits so he can get the fuck to sleep, which, I mean, I get it. You're gonna need as much sleep as you possibly can going into the eclipse, personally speaking. So let's just go ahead and do this. There is a lot of enemies. I forgot how high the enemy count is sometimes. Once you get the golden dice, again, I highly recommend to always keep that on tap if you can. It's gonna allow you to get so much fucking money. Money's not even like so much used for buying like materials. Although you can do that, it's mostly used for synthesizing and collapsing the amount of stuff you have. So always stay on top of that. Let's see, just warm myself up to this. Good stuff. And time to kill things. Oh yeah, okay. I think I mentioned this before, obviously. It's been like a busy week for me, so if I repeat talking points, don't hold me too accountable. My life is a bit insane right now. I'm getting married in literally 10 days, so yeah, by the time this video goes up, I should be well past being married, so that's a weird thought, actually. Huh. Hey, future me, how are you enjoying the married life, I guess? Probably not too fundamentally different from how it is right now, but you know, whatever. Anyway, so I think this one is more or less just to get a kill count, and then the leader spawns, and then you just kind of go from there. Remember at any given point that you are able to probably get a refill on your items, like if they drop from enemies, or treasure chest, more or less. Sweet, okay. And also, basic gameplay tactics. Remember, this is very much like Pirate Warriors 3, where essentially you can dash cancel at any given point in an attack string. That means that you are more or less always safe if you space correctly. Yeah, you never really have to worry about being hit. And of course, you can keep looking. You can look into this if you want to. I'm gonna do this first and illustrate my points. You probably know what I'm talking about. Shockwave is still way bigger than I expected. You do have a lock button. I don't know why you would ever want to use a block button in this game. Like, it's not that the idea of a block button's bad. Like, fundamentally, like, if it's a video game, you probably have, like, you can probably punish unsafe attacks from, like, an AI if you block it and you know like, the correct, like, punish for it. Like, usually you're just gonna do, like, a standard, like, string with a Muso character. It's just not too important. But it's just, like, I don't know, if you're always, okay, movement should always be, like, your first defensive option in any video game period, and then, like, defending yourself, like, physically blocking. Because generally, you're usually going to get way more reward if you make your opponent miss than if you block their attacks, because there are some, like, moves that you can block that are totally safe. But if you make an attack miss, unless it's, like, super high, low recovery frames, you're probably going to be able to punish it with, like, just a full launch or, you know, something. This isn't, of course I'm talking about fighting games in a fucking Muso game, and some of you are golfing at the, golfing? What the hell is the term? Golfing? Laughing at the idea. Let's just say that, why the hell not? But I mean, a lot of ideas are shared across video games, you know, like, frame data, obviously. Frame data because, you know, a game runs at 60 frames per second. Every attack you do has startup and cooldown, essentially. So there's always, like, that basic idea. Like, if you play fighting games, like, to any, like, degree of, like, seriousness, it changes the way you look at video games, like, permanently. It's amazing. Oh, that's right, just bored these guys. No idea. Boss appear with comrades. If I was paying more attention, I could probably end this mission right now. In fact, I could probably... By the way, this same fucker actually shows up in, like, 3 missions. I'm not kidding about that. It's marginally annoying, but I guess it's considering that this time period doesn't really happen sorta in the series. Well, okay, that's a weird thing to say. Like, of course, Guts does go train by himself, and he probably fights a few thugs before going into that tournament. But I mean, it's just kind of silly. Oh, we're done. Yay. That was quick. Sweet. Boss is successfully defeated. Hell yeah. Okay. Also, I think this is the time period where I said I was going to debut the Berserk armor, because we're going to be here for a little while otherwise. Okay. Good, good, good. That's an immediate sell. That's an immediate sell. Okay, cool. Doing pretty good. Also, sorry if I'm seeming a little out of it. Okay. I went to bed at like noon. Woke up at. What was it? No, like I went to bed at 11 a.m. Woke up at 6 p.m. I think 7 p.m. So my brain's all sort of fucked up. Now my dinner is my breakfast, and my breakfast is my dinner. So if I sound a little out of it, I'm still trying to adjust a little bit. It's kind of rough. Anyway, so Godo. I don't think it's ever properly explained like how exactly Guts actually did meet Godo, like what their first encounter was. He just kind of runs into Godo and Erica just off in the mountains. Like he just happens to, literally just complete happenstance. I'm not kidding about that. Godo was also the creator of a little armament you might be familiar with called the Dragon Slayer. You know that thing. So we'll become more familiar with that as we go forward. So, you know, that's fun. Okay, what's this next one? Guts isolates himself in the mountains of the train, suddenly cries to help echo across the distance. Yeah, okay. So the next mission is going to definitely... Okay, hang on, let me see. Yeah, this one is definitely going to be Berserk armor, just so you're aware about that. I like to keep it in suspense, but just so you guys know when we're going to speed things up a little bit. Just a smidge. Alright, also, I need to be remind myself to actually check this shop between these missions. Oh, yay, more of this. God, this looks so nice with all the snow behind him. I completely forgot, actually, that... Did Guts actually leave during the winter? No, he didn't leave in the winter. Oh, a full year passed, so I guess that would snow at some point, huh? So yeah, I actually didn't realize this before, but yeah, no, Guts did get like a full year of sword training in the mountains. Usually Guts isn't like so much focused on training. Like he got way better as a swordsman, obviously, during his 3 years as the head of the Raider squad for the Band of the Hawk, clearly, but this is just, he's actually training like specifically to get better at the sword. This is also going to help him in the Eclipse, funny enough. Like, I didn't realize that, oh yeah, the reason he probably survived the Eclipse is because of slicing actual fucking logs. So that's impressive. Oh, you did... Okay, so he's mentioning a monster. I didn't really know if he's referring to Griffith or Zod. He already beat Griffith, but I don't think he thinks he's beat him metaphorically yet, if you know what I mean. Whereas with Zod, yeah, I can imagine Guts is more trained to fight Zod right now than like really trying to beat Griffith again. Not like he need to. That's the whole reason why Griffith lost to Guts on the rematch, is because of the fact that, you know, it's not so much the fact that Guts got way better, which he did, obviously, but I think it's probably more because that Griffith spent way more time like behind a desk than actually like on the front lines with his men. That's just me personally. I think it's a good combination of the two. If you want to like mix up ratios, I don't think you'd be wrong one way or the other, but you know, details.